everybody, it's Tish. Hope you're well. I'll just wait for a little bit to see if anybody comes on. So this is the second episode of my new series of me solo. So if any of you have been following me, you'll know that I was interviewing people as a series, people who have dealt with hardship and have developed grit and resilience. And so what I thought I'd do is now start to do a series of lives where I'm giving value and I'm talking about things that you can do to help yourself when things are tough. So that's my mission. So tonight's subject is going to be called Jumping In With Both Feet, and I'm going to be talking mostly about leaps of faith and how to make a leap of faith, what the benefits are of making a leap of faith, when we do it, why we do it, and what happens actually if it goes wrong as well. So as you're logging in, guys, let me know that you're here, either by typing #live, or if you're watching on replay, #replay, that would be fantastic. If you're a new person and you've never seen me before, then #newbie would be great, and I'd love to be able to say hello to you too. So hopefully I'll be able to see the comments. I've got my laptop set up as well, because sometimes on my phone I can't see the comments, so I've got my laptop set up, so if you're logging in, hopefully I'll be able to see you. So this is a new page for me. This is my business page. For those of you who don't know who I am and what I do, I'm Tish Hawken, obviously, and I'm a resilience coach for female entrepreneurs. So what I do is I teach and coach women how to develop grit and resilience in the face of personal challenges, because nobody is exempt to hardship. And even the most successful people who we look at and we see and possibly admire, we think have got it all, can't put a foot wrong, and nothing ever goes wrong for them. That's a complete lie, because things go wrong for everybody. And so that's where I step in, and I help those people refine their confidence and their strength, so that they can carry on when a life's curveball has thrown them some dirt, shall we say. So I'd like to talk to you about leaps of faith tonight. Now, as I said, a leap of faith is a very courageous thing to do, and the reason why I want to talk about this tonight is because it was sort of inspired by my youngest daughter. She's 11, and some of you might know I've recently moved over to the Middle East, to Abu Dhabi. I've been here for just over a week now, so settling in, and it's all good, and everything's going smoothly up to now. And I've got my wheels, so I'm driving around on the right hand side of the road in a left hand drive, so that's been a little bit odd, but I've quickly got used to it, which I'm really pleased about. So I'm driving Lucy, my youngest, to and from school. I'm sat in my living room at the moment, and if it's a bit echoey, I apologise, but we haven't got all our furniture in yet, and so I'm waiting to get our furniture in the study, or to get some furniture in the study, so that I've got an office to come to you from and to work from. So it's been a really big move, and my youngest daughter Lucy has inspired me to do this live tonight and talk about this subject, because she's taken all of it in her stride, and she trusted me in the leap of faith of moving countries. I'm 3,500 miles away. She trusted me as her mum to do that, and she took the leap of faith with me. She clearly really didn't have a choice, because she's only 11, but still there was not a lot of protesting, and she's just doing it absolutely marvellously. So there's some things I notice when I'm working with clients. One of the things that comes up when somebody's had a hard time, and when they're struggling with maybe low self-esteem and low confidence, is taking a leap of faith in some way, and they know that they need to do something, but they just can't bring themselves to do it. So if this sounds familiar to you, then just say hell yeah, and type in the comments hell yeah, and let me know when was the last time maybe that you took a leap of faith, or maybe you know that you should be taking a leap of faith and you just can't do it. You're procrastinating, you're making excuses, you're not feeling brave enough, maybe anxiety setting in. So what exactly is a leap of faith? Well, a leap of faith is doing something where we're not absolutely certain it's going to work out, and we're acting on our instinct and under a level of trust as well. And so it's like standing on the edge of a cliff and looking over the cliff and thinking, if I jump from one side, will I get to the other, or will I fall down? So basically that's what a leap of faith is, and I'm sure you all know the metaphor anyway. So why do we need to take leaps of faith? Well, we need to take them because if we don't, we probably won't progress in our lives, in our businesses, in our relationships. Life will always test us, and life will always give us challenges where we're stood on the edge of that cliff and we think, what's going to happen if I jump off? And it can be really, really intimidating and really, really scary. And if we don't take these leaps of faith, as I said, then we can get really stuck, and we can miss out on opportunities that would have otherwise really helped us progress in life, or give us the things that we need, or the things that we want to. So this is why we need to take them, and this is why they're set in front of us as well, so that we can grow and expand as people. Because if we don't grow and expand, we also stay stuck as well, and we can then start to have regrets that we didn't do something. So if this is resonating with anyone, just let me know, type in the comments box. It'd be great to hear from you. So when do we need to take leaps of faith? Well, it could be in so many situations. So because I work with female entrepreneurs, in business, I run a business myself. This is my coaching business. Sometimes we have to take leaps of faith where we spend money on investing in ourselves or investing in the business, and we're not sure whether it's going to work out, but we take that leap of faith, we spend that money because we think it's going to be money well spent. And 9 times out of 10, if you're investing in yourself, in your self-development, it is absolutely money well spent. I can guarantee that. If you're in a business where you're selling your services or products and you have to make scary phone calls, sometimes there's somebody that we need to call, and we just don't want to make that call because we're scared of what they're going to say, the rejection. Maybe there's someone we really look up to, but we want to offer them our services or our product. And, it can be a big leap of faith making that phone call. We could be making leaps of faith in a relationship. It could be that we are not good at commitment maybe, and we know that we would like to treasure our partner forever, and sometimes making that leap of faith of committing to somebody, or if somebody asks you to commit to them and you're not used to commitment, taking that leap of faith that everything will work out is something that we must do to see what happens on the other side. So I'd like to share with you some stories of when I took some leaps of faith, because sometimes in life we have a choice. There's different types of leaps of faith we can take. We can have the ones where we've got a choice. So it's a clear-cut choice where you can either go this way or you can go that way, and it's up to you to decide. Sometimes we're really, really forced into taking a leap of faith, and we can't go backwards. We have to jump off that cliff to be able to get to the other side, because looking backwards is not an option. And for me, most of the time in my life, if any of you have got my book Grit School, you will have read that lots of times I've had to take leaps of faith that there was really no alternative, or I felt there was no alternative, so I was stood on the edge of the cliff and I needed to take that leap of faith. So I'll give you a couple of examples. So the first one is when I was 16 years old, I really wanted to be a singer. It was a passion of mine. I could see myself on stage, and at 16 I really wanted to be a singer, and I went for my first audition at the age of 16, and it was really difficult to do that, because the people who were auditioning, I was auditioning for a band, and the people who were auditioning were much older than me. They were in their 20s, and I saw these people come out of the audition and I thought, you know, they're never going to choose me. I was fresh out of school. I'd left school at 16. Never thought in a million years that they would choose me. And it was really difficult for me to go into that room after all these people came out looking, they just looked experienced, you know, they looked like singers, and I just must have looked really young and childish. But I still went in and I still did that audition, even though I felt there was no hope at all. I took that leap of faith. I did the audition, and a week later I got asked to join the band, and I subsequently had a 20-year singing career just because I took that leap of faith. Now, I often think, what would have happened if I hadn't have taken that leap of faith on that day when I was 16 years old? If I'd have retracted back and gone home and thought, oh no, this is too scary, it's not for me, I'm too young, would I have still had that 20-year singing career? So I'm so glad that I found my courage and I took that leap of faith. A second example of a leap of faith that I've taken is the book that I've just written. It's called Grit School, for those of you who don't know, and it's a book partly about part of my life and some very difficult circumstances that I endured, and it's about how to build grit and resilience in the face of personal challenge. And I remember coming up with the idea of the book. I've always wanted to write a book, and when it came to actually putting the idea on the table and actually writing it, it was really scary, because I thought, who's going to want to read this? This is ridiculous. What if I can't write? What if it doesn't do well? And all these what ifs. And I was stood at the edge, because I'd hired a book coach to help me to get the idea out of my head and into publication. And I could have backed down, I suppose, if I wanted to, and asked my money back, but I think it was a bit too late for that. And so I just went for it, and I wrote the book within 4 months, and I absolutely went for it. Now that book, what that is, hang on, I'm really sorry, 1 second. Well, I'm really sorry about that. I have no idea what that noise was. I really hope it doesn't come back again. I'm really sorry. I have no idea what that noise was. Absolutely none. Okay, so if I hadn't have written that book, I wouldn't feel the pride that I feel now. And I also, the book went to #1 bestseller on Kindle in Amazon, which is absolutely amazing. It blew me away. I was totally overwhelmed. And so when you think about it, if I hadn't have written that book, if I hadn't have stepped out in faith and taken that leap of faith, then I wouldn't have a #1 best-selling book on Amazon, you know. And so you just never know what your bravery is going to lead to. Whether it's a big thing like writing a book, or whether it's a little thing like having a conversation that you don't want to have with somebody but that you know you should have. And another example is I've just moved to Abu Dhabi. You know, my husband's been here for 2.5 years, and it was about time that I joined him. And so I've taken the leap of faith of moving countries to the Middle East from the UK, which is a totally different culture, a totally different climate. And my daughter, obviously, my youngest daughter, has come with me. And so this in itself is a leap of faith. Even though my husband is here and he's used to living here, for me, it's a leap of faith too. And so, granted, I'm used to taking really big leaps of faith, but even the small ones are really, really worthwhile. So what does it take to make a leap of faith? What do you need to have to be able to do that? People who don't take risks and step off that cliff tend to play quite small. And so what you need to do is you need to think bigger. You need to think of the bigger picture, and you need to think of, if I step off this cliff, what is it going to give me? How is it going to benefit me? How am I going to grow, and how am I going to develop? And so you need to be able to have vision about what it's going to give you if you step out in faith. It also, what you need to do is be able to manage anxiety, because when we come up against this cliff that we need to step off, whatever it is, there's always some anxiety and some trepidation, nervousness, tentativeness, and we need to be able to manage that anxiety. And there's so many different ways you can do that. And that's something that I can help you with as well as a coach. You need to have a little bit of faith. You need to have a little sprinkling of faith that everything's going to be okay. And it sounds a little bit sort of, I don't know, airy-fairy. But with that little bit of faith comes hope and also reassurance as well. And I think having that sprinkling of faith is really important when you're about to make a big decision. And the last thing is action. You've got to just do it. There's so many people that I speak to in my business who say, my clients who say, I really want to do this, and I was on the verge of doing it and I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't bring myself to do it. And there's lots of excuses that come out of why. Sometimes you've just got to stop thinking, don't overthink, and just do it. A good way of just doing something that you're really struggling with is using the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method, and that is literally counting down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just do it. Whether you're learning to swim, whether you're jumping out of a plane, whether you're going to ask somebody to marry them, whatever it is, whatever cliff you're just about to jump off, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just do it. So what if it doesn't work? So what if you take a leap of faith and it doesn't work? Because, sometimes it doesn't work out, but it's very rare, because I believe that if life is pushing you to have a leap of faith, then there's a reason for that. And normally the reason is because there's something beyond that's better for you, or that is helping you develop and grow as a person. So, but what if it doesn't work? Well, if it doesn't work, it's okay, because number one, you're still going to learn from the experience. Number two, you will have developed more courage than you had previously. Number three, you will have definitely developed more confidence because you've actually gone and done it. Number four, you will have learned to manage anxiety. Number five, you will be a great role model for anybody around you that also struggles with jumping off the cliff. Number six, it helps you build resilience, because if you take that leap of faith and it doesn't work for you, then you can bounce back. You will be able to bounce back, because you'll be able to look at the experience objectively and learn from it. And what that does is help you build resilience, and that's what I'm passionate about is being able to bounce back from adversity. So it's a win-win situation. You may as well take that leap of faith, whether it works or whether it doesn't, because it is a win-win situation. So that's my episode 2 of my Monday Night Live tonight, guys. I really hope you enjoyed that. If you did, then please like, tag anyone who you think might benefit from this live, or share it into groups, or share it to a person's page that you know might benefit from it. If you've got any questions or comments, please pop them into the comments box, and I will reply to them. And what I'd like to say as well is that I've also got a group, a free group. It's called Female Entrepreneurs Grit School, and it's a group where you can get support and advice if you're struggling with adversity, it's a personal curveball, you're trying to build a business, or you're in a corporate career. And I go in there every day, I post inspirational things, I teach in there on a Wednesday night, I do a Wednesday night live in there, and there's also some freebies you can grab as well. So if you'd like to be part of that group, just put in the comments box, group please, and I'll make sure I get you added in there. And also, if you're interested in receiving some coaching, if you're struggling with anything like negative thinking, low self-esteem, low confidence, and your business is off track and you want to get it back on track because life has thrown you a curveball, or you've always been successful and suddenly things aren't going right for you and you feel like it's something inside of you, then that's where I can come in and I can help you out. So if you'd like a free, no obligation 45-minute introductory session, then type in the chat box free session please, and I'll send you the link to fill in the application form. It's been an absolute pleasure, guys. I hope you're going to join me again next Monday night live here from Abu Dhabi, the Middle East, at 6 p.m. BST, British Summer Time. Have a great week and take care, guys. Bye.